Yeah, Jamaica Funk.
Yeah,
Jamaica Funk. What's up, everybody?
what's going on, people?
It's the Kevin and Nikee show on iHeartRadio. I'm actor Kevin D. Benson.
And I'm actress Nikee Warren, and
We back.
we are back.
We everywhere, but we back.
We are here. Yeah.
We back, man. We are just excited, man. We got a lot going on.
Okay.
We got a lot to talk about.
Listen, I gotta start this off.
Is this about my singing again?
You flipped it, so it's your week.
Oh, it's my week. That's right, because I forfeited it last week.
Yes, you did.
I sure did. Well, we had Paul Anthony on.
You was a punk.
I had to be a punk, though.
You were a punk.
We had Paul. We had the legendary, iconic
you were a punk.
singer, actor, amazing talent from Full Force, Paul Anthony. I couldn't sing.
But let me tell you how you messed that up.
How did I mess that up?
What if he had a singing group, or he had like a movie or something that he was going to put you in?
I wouldn't have made it. 'Cause, I would have ran everybody out the studio with my horrible singing. See, I found that there's freedom in acceptance, and I've accepted that I can't sing.
Okay.
I've accepted that I can't sing, And so I've come to grips with that. But now, seriously, I gotta say this.
What?
Listen,
What?
if I got invited to the BET Awards,
yeah,
and sung in my bathroom mirror, I would kill that joint, man. I'm serious. I'm like the greatest singer in my bathroom mirror.
Whatever. No, I mean, all I'm saying is that was the opportune time. You could have hit that bass line.
It might have been.
You could have hit it.
Well, you know what? I can hold somebody else's note. Like if I'm next to you and you're singing, like I can hold somebody else's note.
I told you I didn't want you to do that.
Oh, man.
I told you last time that I did not want you to do that. Remember when we had Hawthorne James on the show?
That's right.
And we were singing some of the songs from the Hot 5 Heartbeats, and you kept going up onto my show?
I kept going up. I was going too high, right?
Yeah, I told you I didn't want you to do that. So,
wait a minute, so I was going up to the soprano level.
You were going up to the soprano level, and you weren't supposed to do that.
I just wanted to show you I can go high.
No. You don't do that.
I'm supposed to stay low.
You stay low.
Because I'm tenor.
Yes.
Okay.
You are tenor or bass, and tenor or bass has no business up in the clouds.
Okay, I got you. See, you're musically inclined. I'm not, so I'm learning something.
I told you that I was going to take your car. You keep trying.
Okay. All right.
Don't go up there.
All right.
Stay down low. Stay down in the valley. I don't need you up in the clouds. Stay down
in the valley like Barry White. Stay down in the valley. Okay, I got you.
Stay down there.
I got you.
Don't go up. Stay down.
I got you.
All right.
I got the rules.
We here.
We right here.
All right now. Go on.
So we have a lot of adventures going on. So with that said, it's time for the adventure of Kevin and Nikee.
Ding, 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 ding. You see how you did that?
What's that? The adventure of... That's love.
That's one every time.
I got you.
Yes, you did that. Do it all.
All right.
Do it all.
It's time for the adventures of Kevin and Nikee.
See?
There we go.
That's it.
See what a little training and instruction will do for a brother?
I told you I was going to get you right.
I appreciate that.
I told you I was going to get you right. But I just want to make sure that you stay where you're supposed to.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
I got you back.
All right. I appreciate that.
I got you.
So what kind of adventures you had going on?
Well, it finally happened. I finally did my part for the Temple student film.
Okay.
And they aged me very well. You know what?
They aged you. You look old.
Listen, I age very beautifully.
I hear you.
I mean, if that's how I'm going to look when I turn 55, 60, I'll take that.
Okay, cool.
I will take that.
Okay,
yes, I was in the fur and everything.
But you was a sassy mama.
Listen, I was sassy. I was a sassy old lady.
Okay.
I had my pearls on. I had my glasses on. I couldn't find those real thick bifocals, but I did okay.
Okay.
And I had my pearls on, had my pearl bracelet on, had my glasses on with the chain that comes down. I did a good job.
You was definitely grandma.
Yes, and of course, I was on the line.
I know. I already know that. I don't have to worry about you being on time, wardrobe ready, on your line. Look,
I was on my line,
I know that.
And I nailed my part, and especially I don't want to give too much away, but we got to the part where my granddaughter had gotten taken, and I had to run out of the house. Well, actually, they didn't know I was going to run out of the house.
Okay, so you gave them something.
I gave them a little something extra.
You gave them a little something extra.
Yeah, like when the mob came to get her, I did a little something extra. And when they said, because they was like, that was so brilliant.
Okay.
Yes,
you know what? I like that. I like when directors give you the freedom to use your artistic creativity.
Yes, they definitely did that.
Remember, we were on the set of Jason's Letter. And the awesome, super talented director, Terrence Hakeem, he gave us the scenario.
Yes.
The scenario was, it's detention. Your children are acting up in detention.
Yes.
He said, here's where actors are made. I'm giving you the scenario, and I'm going to let you react and respond how you feel you need to react and respond.
Yes.
And me and you walked away with a lot of screen and lines.
And not only that, So our part came up very quickly
in the movie. It was the first, 10, 15 minutes of the movie?
Yes, it did. And I was so surprised because normally you would think that part would be last.
Well, and actually, we filmed our scene towards the end of the wrap of the movie.
Yep.
So that was neat. And
to film it at the end and then see it in the beginning, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, that could have been surprise. And, we just did our thing. I remember you stood up and, you kind of redirected the girl that was playing your child. You was redirecting all the children, by the way.
I had to because
you was like that community mom, what I'm saying?
Yes. As an actor, as an actor and actress, you need to get feedback.
Right.
You need to. What is it? Call and response.
Call and response. Yes.
If I'm giving something out, you need to give something back so I can give you some more.
Right. Now, some of the kids wasn't giving stuff back.
No.
Right. So, I hear you. And you had.
So I had to quick find somebody else
right.
to give me what I need.
And you found a little girl that had the gum in her mouth.
Yes.
She was chewing it, and she didn't want to.
Yes.
Spit it out.
She didn't want to spit it out. So I had to, quickly find another child to get what I need, so I can deliver my lines the way I need to deliver.
Well, I got you. Now I felt a little bit more fortunate because Fritz Aponte, talented young actor, he was giving me feedback. He was definitely
giving you a lot of feedback.
He was giving me a lot of feedback.
To the point you got up.
I had to get up. and redirect I had to redirect on point. Like, man, I'm going to take it behind her when you get home. That kind of thing.
I was like, wow.
Right.
And walked to the back.
I walked to the back.
Down.
Yeah. Now the interesting thing was when I walked to the back. Now I knew I wanted to grab his ear.
Yeah.
Like that dad that's telling him, "Oh, look, you want to show off? You ain't playing PlayStation for a whole year. In fact, I'm going to play your PlayStation." I didn't tell him the first time because I wanted him to give a natural response.
Right.
After I did it the first time, I said, "Okay, this is what I'm going to do."
Right.
So it was great, man. But so like when you was on the set doing the short film with the Temple student film, that reaction was great.
It was because they were not expecting me to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so when I did it and they yelled cut, they were like, "Oh my God, that was so great!" I said, "You cool with that shit? Keep doing it." I got a little hoarse though because I had to yell as I was doing it.
Okay.
But so what did you do?
Oh man, I finished up my final scene in the forthcoming web series called London, directed by the awesome, talented Derek Hammond. It's an awesome cast, man. I really don't even want to start calling names because I know I'm going to leave somebody out. And so it's just an awesome, talented cast. Of course, I play Samuel, the drug fiend.
Right.
Okay. So now this particular scene I had to do, I didn't realize how much shape I had to be in. So I was glad I kind of live in shape because this was the scene where the drug fiend steals the pocketbook. And now I got to run around all these blocks. I'm running around all these blocks. And the guy, one of the cast members asked me, "Are you sweating like that for real or is that spray?" I said, "Nah, man, that's me." Because I was, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to run around this corner, I had to run around another corner, and then finally when I got to the final place where I was going to be examining the belongings inside the pocketbook, I had to run behind a dumpster. So I did a little stunt move.
Yeah.
I did a little stunt move, and the director loved it. Like I kind of, I grabbed the dumpster and kind of fell and scrambled behind it. And I'm going inside the pocketbook and and whatever you hear a director say, "Yo, that's dope," you did your thing. You know what I mean? You did your thing.
You were a little nasty. Because you had to eat off the ground.
Oh, that was last scene.
That was disgusting. I'm still talking about that.
I got you.
Nasty.
It was a little disgusting, but the thing,
a little disgusting.
It was a little.
Was
well, they were kind of like breast milk. So at least my breast milk good.
That was disgusting.
But it was the principle of eating off the ground. Well, that's what a drug fiend would do. Though.
No, that was disgusting.
If a drug fiend dropped their Oxycontin on the ground, they're not going to have good etiquette and things like that because a drug fiend would just be more concerned about getting high. You know what I'm saying? So I had to try to depict that in such a believable way. And the only way I could do that was by eating the Tic Tacs or whatever it was that they had to Altoids off the ground. So
yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
It was disgusting.
I can't believe you did that.
It was disgusting. I gotta admit. But I had one other adventure. You know how we always talk about how this industry, and I think it goes for anything in life, is relationship driven.
Right.
It's relationship driven. And I filmed a movie called Delaware Shore Movie. You was in it too.
Yeah.
You had seen it there. And I made some connections on set.
Yeah.
And one of the guys that was doing the photography that day, talented Nick Bilal, he's directing movies as well.
Yeah.
So he he wanted me to be a part of his feature film that he got coming up. And so we had to send in a headshot, and we had to send in our IMDb credits link, and we had a reel. So I told him, I said, I don't have a reel yet. I'm working on it. Mm-hmm. And I sent in my IMDb credits, and the scene was for like feature background, extra,
okay,
and maybe like a feature background person with a couple of lines.
Okay, that's awesome.
So I submitted my stuff, and after he looked at my IMDb credits, I'm going to read what he said in the email.
What he said?
He said, and I quote, "Man, your IMDb filmography is on fire.
On fire.
Congrats." He said, "Rather than the office setting scene, how would you feel about being a part of a crucial scene involving a team of lawyers?"
Nice.
He said, "If that would interest you, could you please send the following information?" He wanted me to send in his information. Of course, I responded, yes. Because we don't turn down no roles.
Sure don't.
And great adventure, man. It's always good to get cash.
It is. I got one more part. We'll be filming that, sometime. Right.
Okay. Oh, so you got one more part?
I got one more part,
with the temples.
Yeah, because I get to cut my granddaughter out.
Oh, that should be easy for you.
Yeah.
No, that should be real easy for you.
What?
That's gonna be natural. I might have to show up on set to hear that one. But
I get to cut her out.
You get to cut out. You know what I'm saying? But just tap into Nikee.
She tried to play me, so I had to, put in her place a little bit.
Okay, all right. So yeah, it's great, man. And we know, man, that in this industry, you're going to have probably more doors closed than open. But when you do get that door, it is a great feeling.
It is a great feeling. It is.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for the adventures.
Oh, man, we always got something going on. And then we waiting around for, stuff that we already auditioned for to come through, man. Actors like that, you know what I mean? Like Hawthorne James told us.
Yes.
You got to stay what?
You got to stay busy. Yes.
Stay busy.
Well, we're going to take a break, but
when we come back, you're going to meet our special.
We got oh my goodness. Special guest, a very good friend of ours.
Yeah, very talented.
I'm not going to tell y'all who it is before we leave. I ain't going to give it away.
We can't give it away.
This man has been in so much stuff.
He sure has.
And I've seen every single thing he's been in. Every single thing he's been in. So I'm super excited.
Oh, he definitely grind.
Super excited.
He definitely grind. Super good dude.
Yes.
Awesome actor. Awesome talented.
Yes.
And consummate professional. Consummate
all the time.
Consummate professional.
Yes,
man.
very professional.
We're going to let you know who it is when we come back. We're going to take a break. This is the Kevin and Nikee show on iHeartRadio. We everywhere, man.
And we are everywhere.
rocking to the beat. Always, sure looks sweet. Fine young lady, standing by. Come on, baby, sweet as delight. You look so sweet and you're moving to the beat. I'm tired of all these boring parties. I'll make it all down. Come on, let's get on down now. Just got paid. Money in my pocket. Let's shake it all around the way you move down. Say ho. You say. Say ho. Ho ho. Say ho. On the floor, rockin' to the beat, rockin', baby. Oh, you're so sweet. Young lady standing by. Come here. Come on, baby. Look me by. Just got paid. It's Friday night. And we're feeling. Money in my pocket. Show you a good time.
Yo, yo, yo! We are back.
We are back.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So I'm super excited.
Super
I'm super excited because our guest that we have is just totally awesome. What's that thing? All that in a bag of peanut butter potato chips.
Wait, okay, yeah. I was waiting for you to get to the chips. Yeah, I was waiting to get to the chips. But yeah, all right. So look, let's jump right on to it. Brian, are you there? Brian A. Wilson.
Yeah, I'm here. I've been here. Hello, can y'all hear me?
Man, how you doing?
Good.
Good.
How y'all
man.
feeling?
Glad
I
to have
was
you,
listening to y'all tell your stories. They were great.
man.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. We thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and coming on the show, man. And definitely glad to have you. And it's gonna be fun.
Well, I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Both,
Yes, sir.
Thank you both for having me. Yeah.
Oh man, listen. It's an honor, definitely. It's definitely an honor. So yeah, man, let's jump right on into it. Man.
Jump
Let's
right
jump right on into it.
because I don't know where to start. I mean, you've been in everything. I'm talking law-abiding citizen.
Limitless. The Happening.
Yes.
Creed. The Wire. I don't know where to start. Let's start with The Wire.
Let's start with The Wire.
Okay. So yeah, man, you was in The Wire. That was definitely a very, very successful TV show. HBO, everybody loved it. It was like when The Wire came on, it was like life shut down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
everybody
it
was in
was.
front of their TV.
That's true.
So
it was my CTV for black folks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you played the detective, and I mean, Idris Elba. You had Michael B. Jordan, the Kid Dillard, Hassan Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
It was. What was it like on set being around those type of professionals?
Well, I mean, it was amazing for me. It was like on the job training. Unfortunately, I wasn't around those cats that much. I mean, I was only around Idris one time. He was shooting the scene, and I met him, afterwards. He was very, very gracious, very nice. But because I played a homicide detective, so you didn't want to be around when I was there, because
Right.
I was one of the first ones on the scene, when Stringer Bell got killed. So. I didn't. Most of the time, I dealt with other cops, or if I was on the scene, there was a dead body. So my first,
right.
my first scene, was investigating the homicide. But yeah, so but I learned, and I admire people like Wendell Pierce, who I worked with a lot, and we still, I might talk to him maybe once or twice a year. If I see him or something, I'll hit him up or something. But he's I just learned so much from him, and just about professionalism. Also, just about working steadily on a TV show, because somewhat steadily. I would be on and off, but I ended up doing 19 episodes in all 5 seasons. But because I do a lot of theater and theater cast so far ahead of time, sometimes 3, 4, 5 months ahead of time. Sometimes, because I was not a series regular, they would call me and say, hey, we need you, and I wasn't available because I didn't have enough notice. One time I was in Indianapolis doing a play, and they said it was for season 4, and they said, well, your character has a big story arc. It's like, well, nobody told me that. But then I ended up still flying in. I was only off on Mondays. Theater usually off on Mondays, and we had a Tuesday night 7 o'clock show. So I flew to Baltimore from Indianapolis 3 consecutive Mondays on my Sunday nights rather, and then shot Monday on my days off. But I had to pay for it because I was a local hire. So, but it was a big exposure for my character, and and later down the line, it's money with residuals or whatever. But it cost me money at the time. But if I was trying to be a team player and and trying to get that exposure too. So.
Yeah. Hey, man, those residuals definitely help. You know what I mean?
Yes,
now they're down. They dwindled down enough, and I got a check for $0.00 the other day. So I don't know. I don't even know why they even send them, but yeah. But no, Go ahead.
They just wanted your autograph. That's probably what it was.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hang up all my $0 ones. Put them in a frame.
I hear you, man. So, I would like to talk a little bit, like you have a very, very extensive theater background. And from what I hear, those that have a strong theater background tend to be, in a lot of cases, your best film actors as well. Talk about how your theater background, because I know Nikee has a theater background, and talk about that transition from theater to film and how your theater background maybe contributed to film or maybe worked against it.
It's kind of a two-edged sword because, it can work against you sometimes. Because I remember the first time, I think I auditioned for something. I studied at Freedom Theater and Bushfire Theater. And I went for some audition. It was downtown somewhere. And I think I was rehearsing in the lobby. And some dude said, where you go, Freedom Theater? I was like, yeah. He said, yeah, I could tell. That I was being too big or whatever. So, and I didn't, my first film, actually, the anniversary of 20 years ago, The Postman with Kevin Costner, that opened on Christmas Day, 1997. And that was my first film. I had no film experience. And I put something on tape, and then they flew me out to Tucson, Arizona, where they were filming. That's right. They were location scouting. They hadn't started filming yet. And I think they had somebody and lost them, but they needed somebody fair-skinned, because there's a line in the movie about you look like you got some nigger in you. So it had to be somebody that looked like I could pass or something. I don't know. But anyway, so I sat in the room with Kevin Costner for like 15, 20 minutes, and we talked about the film and and my lack of, I had no film or TV training or any credits. And then he offered me this role, which I ended up, shooting for like 5.5 weeks in Arizona and in Oregon. But what was very helpful was they had me test. They had to test my skin tone and reactions or whatever. So they filmed me doing this, and then he invited me to come to dailies, which people don't know. Dailies are when they show you what you shot during the day, so director, producer can watch some of the footage. So he let me see how I looked on film and what my reaction. They had me go through different sets of emotion while I was running or whatever, and I could see. I was like, oh wow, that was really too big. So that was my kind of on the job training. Like, okay, I got to bring that in. You got to bring that down, because I was only used to doing theater. So that's one of the lessons, and just the other thing is just I see, I probably see 3-4 movies a week, and just and you can tell, I guess, what's too big and what's not, and just realize that when you're doing a film, it's going to be blown up 45 feet. So your reactions have to be, minimalized. You have to internalize a lot of stuff. So, so that's, and I've taken, some film and TV classes in New York and in Philly. And that's, that's how you learn. You got to be able to, I don't like watching myself on film, but I watch everything I do just to gauge, and to learn, it's like, oh, that worked, that didn't. So it's just about, kind of internalizing and minimizing stuff. But I've been, fortunate and blessed to do, all three this year. I mean, during the course of my career, I've done TV, film, and theater. And it's, acting is acting, yes, but it's different sets of muscles when you're, doing TV acting and film acting, because you have to, you can't be as big as you can in a theater where you're trying to reach 600-700 people or whatever the size venue you're in. So, yeah, it's a learning curve, but, it's one that I'm glad to be able to do.
Right. Yeah, and that's true, because with theater, you have to be big so that you can reach the back of the theater.
Right.
So that everyone in the back can hear you, everyone in the balcony can hear you. But with film, it's different. You got to tone it down. You have to tone that volume down. You don't have to talk as loud as you would being on stage.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a huge difference. It's a big transition too.
Okay. And then the other thing. Yeah. And then the other thing too is, when you're doing film, you can always say and cut. With theater, you gotta go straight through.
You gotta go straight through. You mess up, that's it. You have to, with theater, you have to be on point, because the next person is depending upon you to bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
Is a certain word that they're listening for, a certain phrase, maybe an ending of a song, something that they're listening for you to say to bring them in. So if you mess up, you're messing up them as well.
I got you.
So it's not like film, cut, I forgot a line, let's go back and get it.
Right.
Have, the script manager on set give you the line or whatever, and you deliver the line. In theater, you can't do that. You have to memorize that entire book.
I got you.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I just did but in August I finished doing a one-man show about Thurgood Marshall, Justice Marshall, and that was 45 pages, and I was on stage, by myself, 2 40-minute acts, and that kicked my butt and taught me a lot. But this there's nothing like the live audience. But that's part of the craft too. Especially, I just finished a short film, and we still have to finish one more scene. But anyway, we did a thing in Galveston, Texas, and that's with film. We shot our last scene first, and then our first scene, and the middle scene second, and then we still have to finish our first scene together. So it's you shoot out of context, out of order and out of context, and it's but that's why you have to kind of know where you're at, and ask the the director, and hopefully have a good director that's like, okay, here's where the character's at, or blah blah blah. But yeah, like you said, Nikee, in theater, you get to do that beginning, middle, and end piece all on stage. But yeah, if you go up, hey, everybody goes up. You lose a line. Hopefully you have people you trust on stage that's going to have your back. And it's like, because I've worked with veterans, I've worked with newbies, but yeah, everybody goes up on a line at some point in their life. Don't believe it if they say they never did. But that can happen.
I hear you, man. Well, I'm glad you brought up that Texas gig, that short film, man, because I want you to tell our listening audience about the journey it took to get there, because I want to get into that work ethic, that stick-to-itiveness, that discipline, that grind. And, man, you represent the consummate professional who is willing to grind. You got the passion. You got the talent. I need you to tell our listeners who may be out there contemplating wanting to be an actor, so they would know what it takes and sometimes what you have to do, the sacrifices that you have to make to get to a gig, to get one done.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kevin, for your kind words. But no, listen, one of the most unfortunate things where I've had to deal with, and that's the business, because the show must go on. My father, he was suffering with Alzheimer's, but he passed away in July of And, we were taking care of him. My mom, God bless her, she kept him home during the whole time. They never went in her home. But, so I was going by. I was in tech rehearsal for a play, so I went by to help her, deal with my pop, just cleaning him up and stuff. And he had an episode, and he passed, right then. And, we went to the hospital, blah, 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 but, he was gone. And thank God my aunt had come in that day before, so she was with my mom. But I had to go to tech rehearsal that night for a play, because people were waiting on me and depending on me. And because I knew my mom was cool, I was able to do that. I mean, I was in a crazy state of mind, of course. And the other thing was that I had 2 films to shoot. That the one, like, he died on a Thursday. Friday, and I had to shoot Saturday and Sunday. They were already scheduled, and people were dependent on me to be there. So I had to go. I had to go to tech rehearsal that night that he died, and then I had to shoot the next 2 days. And I've actually worked like 3 straight weeks before I had a break. Right after he died, the day of his funeral, I had a film shoot that night. So, but my father, where I get my work ethic from is from him. He was a hard-working man. 3 boys he raised with my mom, and he was always dependable. And I said, my pop would want me to fulfill my obligations, and again, because my aunt was there, and I knew my mom was cool, and I was checking in every few hours. But anyway, that's part of the gig, And I remember Johnny Hobbs Jr. telling me, he had to go on stage when he just found out his pop died, and I was like, damn, I never thought that would happen to me, but it did. And and part of it, it was kind of helpful for me to just be able to dive right into work, and I'm still dealing with my father's death now. Maybe if I had time to grieve then, but that's part of the business too. You gotta push on. The show must go on. So, but yeah, the grind is just, you don't have you have like your own business. It's no days off. It's 24/7. You gotta submit. You gotta audition. I just put something on tape this morning, a self-tape, which I've been doing a lot of. I might get something at night and have to, have it done in the morning or the same day. So yeah, it's just it's having your own business and just always being on the grind and looking for that next job, looking for that next paycheck. Because even while you're working, it's like, all right, where's the next one coming from? So it's scary sometimes.
It is, and I can relate to a lot of what you're saying, having a theater, starting out in theater myself. Tech Week is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not allowed to miss that time, that is the period where you're actually performing the show over and over and over again before the show actually begins. And during Tech Week, you got to be there. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where it doesn't matter what's happening. No one during Tech Week can be replaced.
Yeah.
That is in theater world, that is a very important week.
Yeah, that's when you're getting the costumes, the lighting, the sound, all that stuff together, and yeah, and it's long hours. It's usually 10 out of 12s. You're working. Well, you got a 2-hour break, but it's like a long day, a long weekend, especially if you're in a tech-heavy show. So yeah, it can be a crazy time. It's no joke,
Yeah, man, and I just want to say, too, man, just know that your dad is very, very proud of you.
Yeah.
And what you did in terms of getting back in gear and getting back up on stage, he probably would have wanted that.
Yeah.
He probably would have wanted that.
I know he would have, yeah. He
exactly.
told me he was proud of me when he was here, man. I know.
Yeah.
My pop was an entertainer, too. He had a beautiful tenor voice. He sang for Opera Ebony and several choirs. Went up and down the East Coast. Yeah, no, my pop was an entertainer. But I'm sure he knew. And as long as Mom Dukes was okay, I could do what I had to do. But but thank you though. Appreciate it.
Now, I talked to Nikee about this, how we can use our experiences in life, our good, bad, ugly experiences, and channel them into characters and draw from those experiences to make our characters more believable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just speak to us about that. Like, drawing from, your experience. It could be a happy experience, a bad experience, or whatever, to bring out that character.
Well, there are, as both there are so many different techniques, Stanislavski and Meisner and stuff, and I've studied with different people. I don't have a whole lot of training. I didn't go to school. I've been on stage with people from Harvard and Juilliard and stuff like that, but when
you could have fooled us with your performance.
I know.
You could have fooled us.
You could have fooled me.
No, but I'm saying, but once you step on that stage, I don't care where you study. It's all about telling truth,
right.
On stage, and it's, you can get into trouble sometimes. Some people, they get so deep into that method thing that they, you always have to be in control of something, especially if you're doing a scene where you got to choke somebody, and you still got to be safe. But some people lose themselves sometime in the midst of a performance, which, it sounds like a beautiful thing, but it's not when you have to be safe, and that's what you do. When you have fight rehearsals and all that stuff a half hour before the show, and making sure that everybody's safe too. So it can get tricky sometimes, and it can get emotionally draining, especially if you're doing 8 shows a week. So, that's where technique comes in and having to do it. I don't know how some of these, I know a couple of actor friends of mine, were on Broadway and stuff and, doing shows. This one girl was in Lion King for 10 years. She bought a house from it, but it's like, I don't know if I could do that. Because you got to do that show your 8,000 times fresh, like it's new, because you have a new audience. So that takes a whole different set of skills, I think. But though it's tricky doing that and dealing with that. I'm losing my damn train of thought.
You talk about the various different techniques that you can from.
The techniques, and just but you gotta protect yourself too, because sometimes when you're playing they were saying that with Heath Ledger, who won the Oscar posthumously for the Joker, but that's he had to go down a dark hole with that character. So I played I played a child molester one time, and play people that kill people, but you try to, I've never killed anybody, certainly never molested any child, but I had to kind of, I read a couple books, not books, but some stuff, and you try to get into that mindset, how this person thinks, and just trying to understand, the motivation. Why are they saying this? Why are they doing it? What is motivating that? So that's the trick of it, and then also trying to, it's a tricky situation, and you want to. Part of our job is to do it so well that it's kind of seamless, and then people are like, "Oh, that looks so easy. I can get up and do it." Well, it's like, no, it takes training. It takes a lot of different things to get up and do what we do. But you got to make it look effortless, though, which is the tricky part too.
Man. I had the privilege, man, to film Swing with You, Nikee Diller, Buller,
that was fun.
Keith Lanier. It was.
Yeah, you were funny, man. You were great.
Thank you, man. I played tugboat. Tugboat. Yeah, man. And I'm gonna tell you, first of all, we was out there at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh Lord, that was a long night.
You know what I mean? We was out there grinding, man, and it was, for me, it was just a privilege to just be on set with you guys. I was able to watch Keith Buller play. He's been in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah,
so much
Keith
good
is
advice.
Man. I like you. He's my frat brother too. We're both Catholics.
Okay. Yeah, and it was just so great just to maybe have a quick conversation with you guys, give me some encouragement and things like that, and I watched you. You were in your script. You wasn't on set, he, and stuff like that. You were serious about what you were doing. And I remember y'all said, let's do a run through of that last scene where your character and Keith's character had that confrontation. Atif Lanier's character was in it. Jay Simpson's character was in it, and y'all did like a rehearsal. After y'all did the rehearsal, everybody on set started clapping, and we was like, "Did anybody film that?" Because it was that good.
Wow.
Wow. Thanks, man. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's essential, you know, and when you got time, you got to, you know, use it, and especially when you're trying to run through something. And there was a lot of physicality and fight choreography to that, too, so we were trying to, you know, you're going to try to figure stuff out, especially when you're dealing with camera angles and all that stuff. So, yeah, it got, you know, sometimes it gets technical, and it's like, you know, when people talk about, you know, filming love scenes, sometimes it's just like, it's the least sexiest thing is you got to, all right, my butt got to be where at what point, you know. I mean, I'm not doing a love scene, but I'm saying I've heard people talk about that, and it's like, well, then you get turned on. It's like you got these lights, and you got 10,000 people looking at you, and you got to be very technical about, you know, where your hand goes, where your face goes. So it's like, you know, you got to work all that stuff out. Yeah. But it's interesting, though. People don't realize how much sitting around waiting there is, too, though. So you got to conserve your energy. Especially when you're doing like an overnight shoot like we did. I'll take a nap between sets. I mean, between takes. I'll, you know, try to conserve my energy that way. But
yeah, it's a lot of sitting around. People don't understand. Remember, Kev, you and I were on the set of Brotherhood of Silver.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. We were supposed that we got there all time 5 o'clock p.m. Friday on a Friday night.
And we did film at 3:30 on Saturday morning.
Lord.
3:30 in the morning.
And
see,
look at that.
Took a couple of days.
Yes.
Yeah, but see, sometimes that's on the producer, somebody that's not gauging their time right either. Or I mean, but sometimes stuff runs long, but it's like you try to schedule it so actors aren't sitting around that damn long. That's crazy. But it happens, especially on indie films. So
yeah. I mean, one of the things, man, I just gotta commend you on too. I mean, I remember, I think you had like some kind of knee surgery and stuff like that. Straight out of the hospital.
That's right.
You was back on stage. I'm like, Ryan just eliminates all our excuses, man. You know, in terms of why we can't achieve, why we can't get there, why we can't go. And if your character was limping, I know they were sitting there saying, yo, he bringing that character to life with that limp. But they didn't know you just got out the hospital.
That's funny. Yeah, well, you do what you got to do sometime. I remember I used to sing with a band, Perfect Blend. And, I forget what I had some kind of surgery, but the day I got out, we had a show, so I went up there and did my little thing. I didn't move as much as I could, you know, but I was trying to get up there and sing. So, yeah, you know, hey, the show must go on when it can.
That's right.
But guess what? If you drop dead, so they'll find somebody to replace your ass. Believe that.
Real quick. And that's amazing.
With the quickness.
Some people can't even go around the corner.
Right, they can't make it to Center City.
You know, and here you are with a broken leg or something, and you're still up on stage, and you got some people who have all their limbs that can't even do nothing.
Right.
That's just crazy. And like you said, the show must go on.
Right, absolutely.
You know, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. But that's part of the work ethic my father instilled in me, and what I learned too at Freedom Theater. You know, they didn't play. You know, and I thank God for that training, and Johnny Allen Jr., the late Johnny Allen Jr. and Mr. Leslie. So they instilled that in me, and also that, you know, I could be anybody or play anything that I put my mind to too. But you know, it's hard work. It's just you know, anything that's worthwhile, you got to put, you know, your blood, sweat, and tears into it. So
that's right.
I try to tell, you know, young folks sometimes, it's just like anytime you get a chance to perform, it's a stage reading or in front of your family or whatever, you know, take it and use that experience and learn from it. Every time you step on stage or in front of the TV or the big screen, you know, or the camera, you know, you got to be able to learn from it and be open to learning from it.
Absolutely. Man, I definitely got to mention Jason's letter.
Yeah.
The premiere down in Dover was definitely Hollywood to Dover.
Yeah.
I loved your scene, man. What was it? Well, first I want to give a shout out to Terrence Hakeem.
Terrence Hakeem.
The super talented
Terrence. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, man.
He asked me to be in the scene afterwards, but I couldn't do that Sunday because I would have been working with Vivica, which I would have loved. But she was very, very nice, very gracious. I met her that day.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that freaking day, man, that was the middle of a snowstorm, and that stuff was coming down, and it was so cold. We were supposed to shoot outside, but we had to shoot in this lobby, but the lobby was not heated. It was so cold, I couldn't even get my damn lines out at one point. my mouth was literally frozen. I was like, I could not even form a sentence. So it was crazy. Yeah, Sunburn was in that scene, and Lisa. Yeah, that was a wild scene. And then the boy that was in the scene, my boy Tom. You know, he's kind of method sometimes, man. He was pushing me and smacking me. I'm like, white boy, I'm about to. But my character couldn't do nothing. But I was like, yeah, it was like you only got about a couple more of them, man. But yeah, that was one of the coldest days on set I've ever been, you know. And that, but he kept, you know, hey, it was a blizzard, but he only had a limited amount of time, so he shot what he needed to shoot. Mm-hmm. We got it done. I had to drive home in the middle of that snowstorm. That was crazy.
I got you.
But
your line in that particular scene was very, very powerful because as you're interacting with the police officers in that lobby area, this Caucasian couple was watching.
Yeah.
And you started dialoguing with them after the cop walked out, and you said this line. Yeah. That's part of your problem. You don't believe unless you see it.
Yep.
And I thought that was so powerful.
Terrence wrote that, man. Yeah. Powerful joint he wrote, man. Some good stuff in there.
Yeah, and it was referenced, just for people that don't know, it was kind of referencing the, harassment of African Americans by the police officers and stuff like that. And, it took this couple to have to witness without the cops knowing that they were able to see what it is that we as African Americans go through. And that line just drove home a valid point in today's society.
And it did, because remember what he said set the stage for the end of the film,
the end of the movie,
when they were in the courthouse.
Yeah, we ain't gonna give it away.
Well, we ain't gonna
give it away. It was powerful.
What he said set that scene so perfectly.
It sure did. So, and you did a great job, man. If you was cold and things like that, you really wouldn't have been able to tell. But you did such a great job, and man, that just really drove home some things. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, that was I like to. Man, I was in. Man, you talking about going back? I was in a music video of his called "If You Can't Learn to Love Her," because he always deals with topics of interesting topics, or topics of important topics, like he was dealing with domestic abuse back then, and I was playing an abusive boyfriend, so.
Okay.
I still have it. It's on VHS somewhere, but that's how I knew him. That's when I met him years ago, and that must have been probably 20 years. At least 15, 16, 17, 20, almost 20 years ago. So.
Wow. Yeah, me and Nikee, we talk about this all the time, man. This industry, and I think it goes for any capacity of life. It's a relationship-driven industry.
And
yeah.
I'm not good at smoozing, but you gotta network, and half the stuff, maybe, well, at least a quarter of the stuff I get is because of referrals, or working with somebody on something before, and they're like, oh yeah, Brian's cool, let's bring him in on this. So you really gotta be careful, be respectful and watch what you say about who, because you don't know who's related and who's worked with who. Yeah, real small. And also just to be respectful and treat people right, because you can be the most talented actor in the world, but if people don't want you around their set, and I got to work with this cat for 2 weeks or something, I don't want to be around him. I don't care how talented he is. People got to want to work with you too. So.
Yeah. Now I want to talk about Creed.
Yeah.
You were in Creed with Sylvester Stallone, Michael B. Jordan, Felicia Rashad, I mean, wow. What was it like to work on that set?
Well, I'll tell you a couple of quick things, but it was amazing because I and that's that's another thing that what will God do, but I had given up on that because I auditioned for it at Huey, and then I had a call back with Ryan Coogler for his guy that's in the corner, his cut guy, and I did my thing, whatever, and but what I heard, off behind, through the grapevine was that Ryan, he wanted authenticity, and so the dude that plays his cut man is a real cut man, and does he have any acting range? I don't know, but he played that role great because that's exactly who he is. So, and some people were complaining about that, but I was like, listen, the brother wants what he wants, so I respect that. And so, when I met him, I was like, hey man, I know I don't know you, but I really am proud of you and what you accomplished because I really loved his work in Fruitvale Station. And there was a scene, with Michael B. Jordan and his daughter brushing the teeth, and which I have my daughter just turned 10, but it was, I was in the movie crying when I saw it just because it was, it hit close to home. But anyway, so I did that and didn't get anything. So, but then Diane Heary, she's done this a few times, and she offered me to be at the table read. It was down at the Four Seasons, all these rich people and fancy stuff. So I was at the table read, with Miss Rashad and I met Stallone down there or whatever. And I read I read because some people couldn't be in town or whatever. And I met the girl, that played the girlfriend too. She was really nice. So she's in Thor Ragnarok. Yes, she was amazing. Very sweet. But anyway, so I read like six or seven different roles because some people couldn't be there for the table read. And I had to do a couple, like an English accent for one and some different stuff. So anyway, and I was sitting next to this cat who had a role, and they were very complimentary after the fact. And they told Diane, and so I get a call a couple of days later. It's like they come in to read for something, and so I read for this role, and didn't hear anything. And then a month later, they said, you booked it. And I was like, booked what? They said, Creed. I was like, what? Because I had been, a month had passed. They had already started shooting, so I thought somebody else had got cast. So, but anyway, so that's how I ended up getting there. I think, I know because of whatever I did in that table read, because the table read to me is like it is an audition because you're reading 6, 7 different parts, and, hey, they might need somebody else. So I tried to, differentiate, all those different parts. But anyway, but just working on set with, Ryan Coogler was, I think, one of the, not the best film director I've ever worked with. The dude is young, and he just was brilliant. I shot 2 scenes, but they only kept one, which was it didn't make sense to me because I was playing this financial guy who was taking Michael B. Jordan's character under my wing, Adonis. And then the second scene is him quitting. And it's kind of hurtful to me because I did that, but without the context of the first scene, which they cut, and it really pisses me off because I don't know if it was, white folks make these decisions sometimes, but it's like, oh, well, I don't know if it was like, we can't have the black man taking another black man under his wing. We got to have this white savior, saving Adonis in the character of Rocky, but it's like, I thought it was important to have that, and we spent, it was like a 12-hour day, and the way Ryan directs it was like, we shot it like 5, 6 different ways, and he would whisper stuff in my ear sometimes, so it was a surprise for Michael when we shot the scene, and vice versa, and it was just really great to work with him, and to see that camaraderie between Michael and Ryan. It's kind of like, Scorsese and De Niro when they started out working together. And you could tell, and now they got Black Panther coming out. And I'm sure they're going to be working on some other stuff together, too. They had a really great rapport, so. But it was amazing working on that set with them and him. And, and the respect he gave me, him and his writing partner, this big dude, forget his name, he's like 6'8", but he co-wrote it with Ryan. Okay. But, ever had on the film set.
You know? Wow. You did an excellent job, man. Well, I was like a ringside fight fan in the second fight scene.
I know. I saw you put something on Facebook. Yeah, you had.
Yeah. I had, you noticed I had to take the picture and draw an arrow where I was so that people would know I was really in the movie.
You know, that's
but I was
right.
so proud of that, man.
You know what's funny? One of the first things I ever did was Rocky V. I was doing the same thing you're doing. I was like a ringside. I think they gave me a camera or something. A ringside cameraman.
Okay.
And they shot right next to it, the blue horizon, right next to Freedom.
Okay.
And I was doing background on that, and so I couldn't see myself in that though. I didn't find myself. At least you found yourself, man.
I was happy to find. I could say I'm a visible ringside, fight fan.
Yeah.
But I did have a chance to meet Ryan Coogler after we got finished shooting. He was so gracious to take a picture with me. But he was real cool, real down to earth. It was real fascinating to watch him choreograph that fight scene. It was just amazing. They had to know when to throw their head back, when to tuck their rib. Sometimes they were actually getting hit. And it was great, man. Yeah. It was great. It was a great experience. Yeah, definitely a great experience. Yeah, but you did such a great job in your scene, man. You have a real, of course, a natural delivery, but you have like a calmness. You had like such a calmness about your scene when you were sitting at the table talking to Michael B. And it was one of those things that you, as an actor who's a fan of good acting, it was like, man, I want to see more of that. Man, let them talk some more, man. The scene was great.
Oh, thanks. That would have been nice, but
yeah, it was great.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, depending on who your character is, but yes, and that's part of the craft too, trying to get to a place where you can be chill, but I mean, if that's your character, but and it's so hard when you got all these people around you looking at you and discerning what you're doing, and that's you got to find that little moment of inner peace before the camera rolls, which is tricky, man. It's just it's different every time, and it's a little nerve wracking. But it's like, all right, I gotta breathe in through my nose, breathe out through my mouth, and just center, which you try to do before you film. But yeah, it's not as easier said than done, of course. Yeah.
Absolutely. Comes with experience. Well, Brian, man, look, we want to thank you so much, man, for coming on the show.
Yes, thank you.
Definitely honored to have you, man. You didn't know this, but we already had you on the list.
We sure did.
To be on the show. We had to have you, man, because you like I said, you're a consummate professional. You have a lot to offer, and you are a great example for people like myself who have come behind you. Had the privilege to be on set with you, see you in action. And so, man, thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing with our listeners. We definitely want to have you back. And we want you to put your social media out there, man, where people can contact you if they want to book you, follow you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We want to take this time for you to put your stuff out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be better about that. I don't even know what my Twitter handle is. I think it's @Detective Holly, character from The Wire. Because that's my email, too, Detective Holly @Yahoo. But yeah, people can, it's easy to find me on Facebook. I mean, I've gotten some stuff, because I've gotten, message through Facebook and stuff, so I got some gigs that way. But I do, seriously, really appreciate you guys asking me to be on the show, you and Nikee, and just wishing everybody happy holidays and be safe and blessings for the new year.
Yeah, definitely, man. And continue success to you as well, man. Yeah.
Thanks. Maybe you have me back. This show that I did, it premieres March 29th on Freeform. It's called Siren. But when it gets close to that time, maybe we'll do something, next year.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely, man.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, man.
All right,
and, we'll be talking to you soon.
All right, be safe and happy holidays. Thanks, man. All right.
Thank you.
Bye now. God bless.
Bye.
things they gonna do. And every lie they tell affects me and you. I spoke a lot about the money that you stole, and I don't did I'll never tell you how you got his gold. I guess what David T is really trying to say is when you break it all down, we're really all the same. I live my life a different way. Refuse to let myself become a victim. Caught up in a vicious web of lies.
All right, we're back. And I gather somebody's been telling some lies, because that song was all about lies and the devil in the sky. So I am kind of curious what Byron and Nikee is going to be about today.
Listen.
About that time, Nick. So what's bothering you, Nick?
What is bothering me this is, how come every time you open your mouth, a song of lies just come out?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just going to say it again. How come every time you open your mouth, a song of lies just come on out? They come out in soprano, they come out in alto, they come out in tenor. Lies. Didn't I tell you not to walk in?
That was soprano, right?
All right, do the alto lies.
Lies.
Do the tenor.
Lies.
That's bass.
Oh, that. Remember that commercial? Lies. It was a cat food commercial that said lies. Lies. We don't believe a word you say, yeah. Because they were told the cat that they was going to give him a certain kind of food, and they really didn't give him the real food. So the cat started singing, lies, lies. We don't believe a word you say, yeah. But people need to stop lying. You
got me showing up.
People do need to stop lying, though. You know, some people lie. Go ahead. I'm not going to say that.
No, you go ahead.
No, but people just lie. You have pathological lies.
Yes.
They'll lie about anything.
I mean, why can't you tell the truth? I mean, I don't get it. You lie about where you're going. You lie about where you've been. You lie about who you've been with. You lie about the food you ate. I mean, what is the problem? You lie about your job. I mean,
people just lie.
Is it to make yourself look good? Or is it important or something?
And then whenever you tell a lie, you got to keep up with the trail of lies to keep on lying. And so therefore, you just have people that just lie about everything. People lie about, they went to the store and bought a pack of cookies, but they put them on a plate. And if you ask them, did you bake these? They'll say, oh yeah, I did bake these.
Knowing darn well you did not bake those cookies. Remember that Glade commercial where the lady went and bought a bunch of Glade candles, and she tried to take her friends off as if they were other candles that she made or something like that, and she had to stick her on her butt or something.
Right.
I mean, why can't you say they're Glade candles?
Right. Well, is that too hard? Maybe not too hard for a lie.
I just got these are Glade. Why can't you say that?
Right.
Why do we have to tell lies? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, what's wrong with telling the truth?
Oh, then check this out, Nick. We done got so creative with lies. We done got colors for them. We got white lies, black lies, purple lies. I mean, big lies, little lies. We got a scale of 1 to 10 lies. Like, where do we get that from?
But then the thing is, you lie so much, you start to
believe it.
Your own lies, and now you can't even come out of it because you're so deep into it. Right. Now you're stuck in your own mess.
Right.
And now you have to think of another lie to cover that lie you told, and then another lie to cover that lie, which covers that lie. I mean, it's just a string of lies that just keep going around.
Yeah, and like you put it so plainly. Like if you lie so much, you start believing the lies that you tell. And here's the danger: you start sharing that with other people, especially when they're talking about other people.
But here's the thing, though. Here's where you get caught. What if the person that you're talking to was there and you ain't even know it?
That's true. That's true.
And you come in their face telling them what happened, and they were there, and they're like, "Well, did you see me? You didn't see me sitting there?"
Yeah, I was right there. That didn't happen.
That did not happen. I was right there, literally. What, was I invisible to you? I just don't. Why can't you just? Hey, did you go to the store yesterday? Yeah.
And we'll leave room for imperfection. We'll leave room for imperfection because to keep it honest, to keep it real, we all have told a lie. And if anybody out there would say that you haven't, you just told your first one. Because even when people go to church and they ask you, how you doing? They say, I'm blessed by the best. And you know, daggone well, you was depressed last night. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to say, you know what? I'm not doing good, but God is good. You know what I'm saying? So we all have told lies. But I know what you're talking about. You're talking about these pathological, continuous, lie living.
Turn around, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. I mean, and you so confused, you don't know which one is the truth. Right. You're confusing yourself. I mean, I just don't understand why it just has to be so much lying. Just tell the truth.
Right.
What is the problem?
Right.
You're listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, we are back. We are back. That song was about money.
Yeah.
Money.
I would like to have some more of it.
You don't need both.
I would like to have.
Got to have it.
Remember how you would hear those stories about money trucks like dropping money by accident in front of people, and they are finding the money and different things like that. You know, I would if that ever happened to me, you would
give it to the poor people, wouldn't you?
I sure would. I would give it to the homeless people. I have a lot of homeless people I would like to help out.
Yeah, I give it to the homeless people all the time. And just for clarity's sake, because we hear this saying, people slinging this saying around, and they sling it around probably unknowingly. People say the money is the root of all evil. No, it's not. And I know I just got myself in trouble initially with your initial thinking, but the actual theological, doctrinal position is money is the root of all kinds of evil. Because if I walk down the street and kick a cat, not that I've ever done this or would, that doesn't necessarily have to have anything to do with money, but that would be evil, right?
That would be evil.
That would definitely be evil, right?
That would be evil.
Right, because a person could kick a cat for a lot of different reasons, because they're mentally ill. It has nothing to do with money. So if it's the root of all evil, then that means that every evil act, money should be tied in there somewhere. And we know that, like if somebody, we talked about the lies. Mm-hmm. So if somebody lie on somebody just because they're a pathological liar, where does money, play a role in that? So the doctrinal theological stance is that money is the root of all kinds of evil. It's not the root of all evil.
Now, if you're walking down the street and you're kicking animals or whatever, you're running over chipmunks and birds.
That's a bully.
You are a bully.
And a mentally ill.
Okay, you are a bully. You are mentally ill.
Yeah.
And you're going to hell in a handbasket.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Those are God's babies.
I got you, man.
Look,
that was just an example. I'm an animal lover.
He created them. Those are God's babies.
No question. You can't be out there.
Not be out there, kicking the animals and stuff like that.
I remember when I was I remember a time one day I was down in Florida, and I rescued a turtle from out of the middle of the street.
You rescued a turtle?
I rescued a turtle.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. People started clapping when they saw this happen. Like, I actually stopped traffic because this turtle was trying to get to the pond, trying to cross the street, and I had to rescue it.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm deeply touched by that story, and I'm telling the truth.
No, it's true though. It's a true story.
I'm telling the truth. I'm deeply touched because that is something I would do.
Yeah.
So that deeply touched me.
I got you.
Okay. Real quick, before we get into Kevin's Corner, last week we talked about bullying.
Right, that's right.
Okay, we talked about bullying. I just want to give out the suicide hotline. This is very important. I just want to make sure we have this. Mm-hmm. The number is 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255, and it's the free help hotline. Okay, there is hope everywhere. We got to stop this bullying, everybody.
Absolutely.
Parents, talk to your children. Okay?
Absolutely.
Talk to yourself. Tell yourself not to be a bully.
Right.
Okay, because 9 times out of 10, if your children are bullies, because you are a bully too.
Because the apple don't fall far from the tree.
It does not. So we want to make sure we get that in.
All right. And before we get to Kevin's Corner, I just want to advertise that they have an awesome event coming up on January the 15th, which is Martin Luther King's birthday, national holiday.
Yes.
It's empowering the individual, strengthening the community, honor the dream. It's going to be held at Di Silvestro Playground, 1701 South 15th Street, Philadelphia, PA 19145. Okay, doors open at 1. It's on Monday, January the 15th, 2018. And Integrity Click is partnering with Parks and Recreation and the library to put on this event for kids. Okay. And they're kind of trying to honor Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy. It's going to be free T-shirts, free food. They're going to have some dynamic speakers, and political figures from around the city are going to come out and support this, and it's going to be awesome. And then they're going to have this portion where they're going to actually take kids to register to get their library card so that they can start going to the library and reading and getting educated. You got to come out and support this thing. Once again, it's going to be at the Silvestro Playground, 1701 South 15th Street in Philadelphia, PA. Doors open at 1 Monday, January 15, 2018, and it's about honoring the dream, strengthening the community, empowering the individual. For more information, you can call the Silvestro Playground at 215-685-1598, and it's going to be great, man. It's going to be awesome, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be awesome, man. So,
children need their library.
They need the library. Everybody, adult, children, young adults, everybody should have a library card.
Yes, need your library card.
Yeah, and they're going to take them there with the parents, for those that, the kids that are smaller, teenagers, and they're going to have speakers speaking to their life about dreams, goals, and aspirations, educational goals, so forth and so on, and they're going to get their library card and get educated. Come out and support, gang. Tell your friends about it. We'll be telling you more as we get closer.
Yes. All right, and now, it is time for my favorite part of the show. You hear that, Soprano?
Show.
Did not tell you not to go up.
Well, I was imitating you.
No.
All right. Go ahead.
Show.
That was good.
Do it.
Show.
Kevin, we're going to get him right, y'all.
All right.
We're going to get him right.
All right, gang.
Kevin's Corner.
It's time for Kevin's Corner. It's that time of the segment where we just want to empower people holistically, whether it be spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. We want to empower people with information to encourage, to inspire, so that you can dream on, man. You can dream dreams and become better people and love on people and encourage and make the world a better place.
Yeah.
And so you heard the song Money, 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 Money. Well, we're going to talk a little bit. That was great. That was right on time. We're going to talk about money. Well, we're going to talk about it from a standpoint of getting debt free. Okay? We're going to talk about getting debt-free. Now, you might say, well, Kevin, are you a debt-free expert? No, I'm not. But what qualifies me to talk about this subject? Well, I'm debt-free. So I'm going to tell you how I did it. Well, I want you to think in terms of a pyramid. Okay? You know how a pyramid's base is bigger, and as it gets to the top, it gets smaller. So what I did was I took all of my bills. I put the smallest bill at the top, the next largest, the next largest, all the way down to the bottom on a piece of paper where my largest bill, of course, was at the bottom and my smallest bill was at the top. And what I did was, just by way of example, let's say we're going to have bill A, B, and C. So let's say bill A is $100, bill B is $200, and bill C is $300. Let's say that bill A is a $50 minimum. So because that bill is $100 with a $50 minimum, you pay the $50, and then next month you pay the other $50, and that wipes out that bill. So now you can cross off bill A. So now you move to bill B, which is your next largest bill, and let's say that bill is $200, and the bare minimum to pay that bill each month is $50. So what you do is you take the $50, which is the bare minimum for that second $200 bill, and then take the $50 that you used to pay off that first bill and put it towards the second bill. So now instead of putting 50, you're putting 100. So you put the bare minimum 50 that is owed each month plus the 50 that you would have paid from the first bill that you paid off, and now you're moving closer to paying off that second bill. So instead of owing $150 next month, now you only owe $100. Follow me here.
Okay.
So when the next month comes in, that bill is now $100 as opposed to $150 because you took the 50 that you would have used from the first one that you paid off and you're putting it towards the second one.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
So that's how that goes. And then once you pay off that second $200 bill, you're going to take the $50 from the first one you would have been paying from the first bill that you paid off. You're going to take the $50 from the second bill that you would have paid, but you paid it off.
Yeah.
And you're going to put it towards your third bill, which is $300 plus the bare minimum. So in essence, you're really putting $150 towards your third bill, which is $300, and now you're only left with $50.
Okay.
So basically, in essence, it's kind of like a pyramid program. But here's the ultimate thing. if you're going to chase your dreams, and me and Nick talk about this all the time, you're going to need two things. You're going to need money to invest in your dreams,
Yes.
and you're going to need time to pursue it.
Yes.
But if you always at work, working overtime,
Yes.
you can't be doing anything
Yes.
else.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So financial freedom is a great goal to have.
Yes, it is. And then you won't have to worry about lying and disguising your voice to sound like a Chinese person when the bill collector calls.
Right, that's right.
Talking from Jimmy Note in here.
Jimmy
You
Note
don't have to
Jimmy
worry
don't
about
live
it.
here anymore. And the kids in the background like, Mom! You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's, we just want to give you practical steps that to make yourself better and to improve, your quality of being, man.
Yeah.
You want to be able to enjoy financial freedom, have less financial pressures, and let me say this to all the people that might be out there struggling financially. Maybe you have to work 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet. Maybe you looked at your debt and said, you know what, my debt looks so insurmountable, I don't think I can pay it off in a lifetime. Well, the mindset, and I talk a lot about our thinking, is you eat, the old saying, you eat an elephant one small piece at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And that needs to be your approach. No, you're not going to knock it out overnight. It took me 3 years to do it. But if you do it and stick to it, you'll get there.
And then another thing you can do, order up that credit report.
Yeah.
Look at your credit report.
Well, some people don't want to look at that.
Well, you got to be, if you want to be debt free, it starts with the credit report.
Right.
Bring up that credit report,
Right.
look at it, and start making some calls. And you start making settlements on some of those things that you owe.
And that's what I was going to get. That was the last point I was going to get to. There's so many programs out here.
Yes.
Debt consolidation program, debt forgiveness program.
Yes.
I had a school bill. I had $4,000 left on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I called the school and said, hey, look, I want to make every attempt to pay this off. And I was able to experience debt forgiveness and negotiate.
Yeah.
And they said, well, if you can pay half of it off in one lump sum, we'll forgive the other half.
Yeah.
And I took the
Loan
$2,000.
forgiveness.
Yeah. And I worked a little overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Got the $2,000, paid it off, and they forgave the other, and that wiped out my school bill. It can be done.
It can be done, and it feels so good when you don't have to worry about
lying on somebody to get overtime.
Lying on for that bill and robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
It feels so good when you don't have to do that. There are some bills that come monthly, like your electric bill, your gas bill, your phone bill. Maybe what you can do while you're going through your budgeting process, cut your cable off. They got Netflix.
Right, that's right.
DVD.
There
you go.
I got to go old school on it.
I'm going to tell you right now, when I was buying my house, I cut my cable off.
Right, you got to be able to sacrifice.
I cut it off.
I instead of me buying them Timberlands, I bought a pair of Timbs, Tim's, and they work just fine. They kept my feet warm.
And for those people who keep saying that they can't live without cable, honey, no, Netflix has everything that cable has. And then they have these little boxes that you can get that has
streaming, live streaming.
Now, it's the live streaming is a little bit better than what it was when I bought my house.
Right.
But now
they got Roku, all that
stuff. Everything.
Yeah. You definitely got to sacrifice.
You can buy an HBO app for like $9.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you cut that cable off. Use that cable bill, because some people cable bill be $100, $200.
Yeah, we pay a lot for entertainment. Cut
that off, take that money and put it towards those bills and buy yourself a house.
That's it, Nick. You know what I mean? That's it. So yeah, man. So let's put it out there, man. I'm actor Kevin D. Benton.
Mm-hmm.
You can, and this is actress Nikee Warren, and we want to put our social media out there. I messed up.
You messed it up.
I was thinking if I was going to sing it. I got caught between a rock and a hard place. I said I'm not going to sing it. But so yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Kevin D. Benton. I'm on Facebook, actor Kevin D. Benton.
And you're also on LinkedIn.
Oh, I'm on LinkedIn too. I don't really go there that much.
You don't go there that much?
Not that much. I'm on there somewhere. You'll be fine.
All right. You can find me on Facebook, Nikee Warren, on Twitter, at Nikee Warren on Instagram. Hello, I'm Nikee. That's HELLO. I am Nikee, Nikee. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding the show. Didn't I tell you? Ooh.
Oh, I went up. But that's it, though. Mine sounded just like yours. Don't even try. But go ahead. Put that info out there.
We're going to get him right, y'all.
Yeah.
Hit us up The Kevin and Nikee Show at yahoo.com.
Yahoo. Right?
You know.
You left me hanging, man.
Because I wanted to see what note you were going to get.
Okay, go ahead.
That's why.
All right.
All right. You can find us.
We got to
Email
stop
us at the.
Yeah, we got to stop arguing. But go ahead. Email us at what?
Just do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Email
Now listen to you. You know what I'm saying?
Email us at the Kevin and Nikee Show at yahoo.com.
Right.
Yahoo. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Too late. And also hit us up on Twitter, the Kevin Nikee Show. And
Kevin
you can also,
Nikee Show.
That's
Right.
what I said.
Right. I was just emphasizing. You got it right.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you can find us on Facebook as well.
That's right. And join our group, man. Join our group on Facebook, man. We would love to connect with you. And we
follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter, man. We try to create community, man, where people can come in there, and it's not just about. We don't want it to be just about what Nikee and I post and just the show. It's predominantly about the show, but we want to build community where you know you can kind of connect with us, and you know we go back and forth. Thank you for all the support. We love y'all guys.
Love you so
Thank
much.
you for letting us add you and join in the group.
Yes.
We really can't do what we do without you.
Follow us.
Follow us.
Yes.
You have been listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.